Good morning. We will pay attention to VAT calculations on purchases and the creditors journal today. Purchase goods on credit from Sunet Traders 5,700 VAT inclusive. So that means that the 5,700 includes the VAT and therefore is equal to 114%. So the 114% is the amount given, 5,700. If we want the 14%, the one that we want, 14, divided by the one that we know, 114, times 5,700 is 700 Rand. If we want to know what is the purchase price excluding the VAT, so that is the actual asset, the value of the asset, we will take 100, the one that we want, divide by the one that we know, 114, and that will give us 5,000 Rand. In the creditors journal, we will indicate that the business owes the creditors a total of 5,700. That equals the 114% because it includes the inventory price, 5,000, and the VAT of 700 Rand. If we want to do the calculation directly in the creditors journal, I can enter the amount given as 5,700 under the creditors column because they say it's VAT inclusive, so it equals the 114%. If I want to calculate the inventory amount, the one that I want, 100, divided by the one that I know, 114, times the 5,700, and that will give me 5,000 Rand. If I want to calculate the VAT, the one that I want, 14, divided by the one that I know, 114, times 5,700 will give me 700 Rand. Purchase equipment from Jan Suppliers for 12,000 VAT exclusive, so it doesn't include the VAT. So the 12,000 equals the 100% before the VAT was added. If we want to calculate the purchase price including the VAT, we want to know how much is 114%. So the one that we want, 114 at the top, divide by the one that we know, 100 at the bottom, times 12,000, and that will give me 13,680. If I want to calculate the VAT, the one that I want, 14, divided by the one that we know, 100, times 12,000 will give me 1,680. If we look at these two calculations, we can see that in the first one, we divided by 114 because the VAT inclusive amount was given. In the second one, we divide by 100 because the VAT exclusive amount is given. So it's very important to read and determine which figure is given. We will show in the sundry columns that we bought equipment for 12,000 and we calculated that the creditors is 13,680 and that the VAT input is 1,680. So the total amount owed to creditors includes the VAT and the purchase price. If we want to calculate it directly in the creditors journal, the one that we want is 114. The one that we know is 100 times 12,000. And then I can calculate what is the creditors figure. If I want to know what is the VAT amount, the one that I want, 14, divide by the one that we know, 100 times 12,000. The VAT on credit purchases is 2,240, so the 14% VAT is given as 2,240. If we want to know what is the total amount that we owe the creditors, we want to calculate the 114%. The one that I want to calculate, 114, divide by the one that we know, times 2240, will give me 18,240. So I can indicate that the total amount I owe the creditors include the VAT, 18,240. If we want to calculate the price of the inventory excluding the VAT, then we want to calculate 100. So the one that we want, 100, divided by the one that we know, 14 times 2240, will give me the 16,000. So we can indicate that the inventory is 16,000. The VAT input was given as 2240. If we want to do the calculation directly in the creditor's journal, the amount given is the VAT input. So if I want to know what is the total amount that I owe the creditors, I want to know what is the 114%. The one that we know is 14%, so I divide by 14 times 2240. If I want to know what is the value of the inventory excluding the VAT, then I want to know how much is 100, divide by the one that we know, 14 times 2240. And then I can calculate the value of my inventory. What did we learn? Determine if the purchases include or exclude VAT. If the price includes VAT, the amount is equal to 114%. If the price excludes VAT, the amount is equal to 100%.